When I attended North Georgia College and State University as a college student and ROTC cadet, I can easily argue that I wasn't the best student, nor was I the best cadet. When I actually commissioned into the Army, I realized how little as a cadet I actually paid attention to the people and leaders who are trying to help me be successful in my future as an officer in the United States Army. I do, however, specifically remember two things that were said to me that stuck with me my entire career, and it was this man, Major General Joe Girard, who at the time when I was a cadet in 2008 was Lieutenant Colonel Girard, and he said to us, number one, if you're an officer, you need to max your PT test. The Army Physical Fitness Test, the max score is a 300, and I'm proud to say that I managed to maintain that my entire career. And number two, you need to keep an I Love Me book. Years later, my amazing first sergeant, Shane Adams, also reinforced this idea of maintaining an I Love Me book, and I sure love me some Shane Adams. The I Love Me book is not the musings of a self-inflated, egotistical man, nor is it some self-help or self-love book, a movement which I think is selfish. The I Love Me book is more of a comical and amusing description of one's career record book, a personal ledger of achievements or career progression documents contained in one place. Basically, the way I looked at this thing is like this. If it affected my career, I put it in there. So what kind of things go in here? Well, first off, I've got this professional timeline which shows my career progression, and I was a 2009 cohort, so that means at this point in 2025, I should probably be like a lieutenant colonel or something I just don't feel like I'm mature enough to do. This is my DD-214 Member 4, which shows my separation date as well as my total time in service, and that I was honorably discharged, which is a big deal to companies on the outside. These are my orders, which carried me all over the place to include a little place called Afghanistan. I have these moving documents in here because someone said the Army could audit you up to 6 years after you moved, so I just kept them, and now they're just more for historic and nostalgic purposes and kind of fun to look at sometimes. This shows I was medically fit to fly. These are my promotion orders. This is various training that I attended and awards that I received, and I've got all my flight school information in here to include my first temporary airman certificate, which was replaced by the hard plastic one, which has since been replaced by more hard plastic ones. I actually kept all of my ROTC documents, and then these are my officer evaluation reports, which are also very important to businesses on the outside, and then all of my equipment. Anyone who has gotten out of the Army knows that turning in your equipment is like the final boss before getting out. Keeping all of your documents organized and, of course, doing proper inventories of all of your equipment really helps when it comes to getting out of the Army. That's where it all started. Got my flight helmet here like 7 years ago. I hate these places. I hate equipment. Oh look, an I Love Me book. So why keep this monstrous physical book? Doesn't the Army keep like a digital record of all of this or something? They do. It's called iPerms, and in my oh so humble opinion, it is totally worthless. I have spent hours in the past on the phone trying to update and change records. Army digital record keeping is the reason I still manually keep track of my flight hours. The Army actually shorted me a bunch, but luckily I had the foresight to keep my own record. And as you can see, my hours were just a little bit higher than what the Army said I got. But I didn't completely grasp the importance of this book until I started filling out my application for Delta. You see, Delta wanted to know all about me from the present time all the way back until I started working when I was about 14 years old. And I had to basically account for every single day in that timeline through my work, my school, unemployment, etc. Considering that my military service accounted for the largest portion in that timeline, as I was sitting down to actually fill in all of the details of the application, ensuring that I got everything correct, it was nice to be able to turn to this I Love Me book when I needed things like, training records or awards or any of my officer evaluation reports. This ensured I got everything correct in the application, ultimately leading to me being prepared once I finally got the phone call.
All right, I am here at the building. I'm ready to rock. Here we go. Super nervous.
I'm in. Here we go.
About 5:15 at night, but I got the job at Delta. So I am super excited, very tired, super excited.
I cannot stress enough the importance to anyone who is getting out of the military and wants to work in this industry that you need to keep a physical record of all of your accomplishments. And even if you're not in the military, you need to be organized. Create an I Love Me book. Trust me, it will help immensely.